Did you know that approximately 60 to 70% of homicide cases in the U.S. can be classified as cold cases, remaining unsolved for many years? However, thanks to advancements in technology, including DNA analysis and forensic science, many of these chilling mysteries are finally getting the closure they deserve. Today we're diving into 3 jaw-dropping cases that have recently been cracked open, revealing the twists and turns that led to their resolution. Make sure to stay until the end, as each case reveals a unique story that you won't want to miss. Now let's jump right into our first case, which took place in 1980 in a small town in Oregon. A young college student heads out to class on a cold January evening, her whole life ahead of her. She's planning to meet up with friends later, maybe enjoy a scoop of ice cream after studying. But as night falls, she never returns. The next morning, a body is found just steps from campus, shattering the peace of this small Oregon community and leaving questions that would go unanswered for over 40 years. How did Barbara Tucker's promising life come to such a brutal and mysterious end? It was January 15, 1980. 19-year-old Barbara Mae Tucker was a business student at Mount Hood Community College in Gresham, Oregon. Described as a free spirit and incredibly hardworking, she was the youngest of 7 and cherished by her family. That evening, Barbara was expected at a night class. She'd called her mom earlier, mentioning she might stop by a friend's apartment if class ended early. But as the night grew late, Barbara didn't return home. The following morning, January 16th, students arrived to the chilling sight of a body lying in a wooded area by the campus parking lot. It was Barbara, beaten and left to die just yards from where her classmates had parked the night before. The horror spread quickly. Barbara had been sexually assaulted and suffered a brutal beating that left the tight-knit community in shock. In the hours surrounding her disappearance, several witnesses reported seeing a young woman in apparent distress near the wooded edge of campus. One witness described a woman frantically waving her arms, her face bloodied. Another saw a man lurking in the bushes by the parking lot. For 2 decades, Barbara's murder remained unsolved, a constant shadow over her family's lives. But in 2000, a glimmer of hope emerged. Technological advancements enabled the Oregon State Police Crime Lab to develop a DNA profile from the swabs collected in Barbara's autopsy. Still, no match was found in the system. It wasn't until 2021 that an astonishing breakthrough occurred. Detectives turned to genetic genealogy, a groundbreaking tool that uses family tree tracing to identify DNA matches. With help from Parabon Nanolabs, genealogists matched the DNA to a specific line, narrowing it down to a man named Robert Plimpton, a former resident of the Gresham area. Surveillance teams quickly located Plimpton in Troutdale, Oregon. After keeping a close watch on him, detectives spotted their opportunity when Plimpton spit a piece of chewing gum onto the ground. They collected it and submitted it for DNA testing, anxiously awaiting the results. The results were irrefutable. Plimpton's DNA matched the sample taken from Barbara's body in 1980. After 4 decades, the detectives finally had their suspect. On June 8, 2021, Robert Plimpton was arrested and charged with Barbara's murder. It was revealed that Plimpton had been just 16 years old at the time of the attack and lived half a mile from the campus. He had a history of criminal behavior, including a 1985 attempted kidnapping. His trial took place in early 2024, with Chief Deputy District Attorney Kirsten Snowden leading the case. Multiple witnesses from 1980 testified to seeing a man and woman on the night of the murder, and forensic experts confirmed the DNA match. The prosecution painted a disturbing portrait of a violent predator who had taken an innocent young woman's life. But he had avoided serious charges for years. On March 15, 2024, Judge Amy Baggio delivered her verdict. Robert Plimpton was found guilty of first-degree murder. Though prosecutors couldn't prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the sexual assault occurred while Barbara was still alive, the murder charges carried a significant sentence. In October 2024, Plimpton was sentenced to life in prison, bringing long-awaited justice for Barbara Tucker's family. For the Tucker family, the verdict brought a bittersweet sense of closure. Decades of grief and unanswered questions finally had an end, though nothing could bring Barbara back. The case of Barbara Tucker serves as a powerful reminder of the resilience of families in the face of tragedy and the ever-evolving capabilities of forensic science. Thanks to these advancements and the relentless efforts of law enforcement, Barbara's story can finally be laid to rest. Now that we've uncovered the chilling details of Robert Plimpton's case, let's shift our focus to another haunting mystery. This time, we'll explore the case of Rex Heuermann, whose story reveals the dark side of human nature and the relentless pursuit of justice. A young woman walks along the bustling streets of Long Island, her mind racing with plans for the future. It's a warm summer evening in July 2010, and she's eager to meet friends for dinner, looking forward to the laughter and camaraderie. But as night descends, she vanishes without a trace. The next morning, a discovery shatters the peace of this suburban community. A body found near Gilgo Beach, igniting a haunting investigation that would remain open for over a decade. How did the promising lives of these women intersect with a figure shrouded in darkness? It was July 2010 when the life of 24-year-old Shannon Gilbert took a fateful turn. Described as vibrant and spirited, Shannon had been working as an escort, navigating the complexities of her life in search of independence. That night, she was seen leaving a client's house, her demeanor changing as she sought help from nearby residents, visibly distressed. Her family knew something was wrong when she failed to return home. Days turned into weeks, and the search for Shannon intensified. On December 11, 2010, as police combed through the dense brush along Ocean Parkway, they stumbled upon a series of bodies, young women, all connected to the escort services that operated in the area. The chilling discovery sent shockwaves through the community. These were not isolated incidents, but a grim pattern of disappearances. Among the victims was Melissa Barthelemy, a 24-year-old from the Bronx, known for her bubbly personality and infectious laughter. She had been reported missing in July 2009, and her family had tirelessly searched for her. Melissa's remains were discovered in December 2010, her life tragically cut short. Another victim, Megan Waterman, was just 22 years old when she vanished in June 2010. A young mother with dreams of a better future, Megan had been trying to support her daughter when she disappeared. Her body was found alongside Melissa's, intensifying the community's fear and outrage. Maureen Bernard Barnes, 25, also went missing in 2007. Described as a free spirit, Maureen's friends remembered her for her kindness and warmth. Her family had been living a nightmare since her disappearance, and the discovery of her body only added to the heartbreak. Amber Costello, a 27-year-old, who went missing in September 2010. Amber, who had also worked as an escort, was a vibrant soul with a love for life. Her remains were found later, deepening the sorrow of a community plagued by these tragedies. As authorities investigated, more chilling discoveries surfaced. Jessica Taylor, a 20-year-old from Washington, D.C., had gone missing in 2003. Part of her remains had been found in Manorville, New York that same year, but it wasn't until April 2011 that the rest of her remains were discovered on Gilgo Beach, connecting her to the other victims and expanding the chilling pattern. In 2000, the partial remains of Valerie Mack, a 24-year-old who had been known only as Jane Doe No. 3, were found in Manorville. She had gone missing that spring from Port Republic, New Jersey, her family left in agonizing suspense. Her identification using genetic genealogy in 2020 marked a breakthrough, providing her family long-awaited answers. Adding to the tragedy was the discovery of baby Doe, a toddler between 16 and 24 months old, who was found wrapped in a blanket in April 2011 near Gilgo Beach. DNA analysis revealed she was the daughter of Jane Doe No. 3, later known as Peaches for her tattoo, whose remains had first been discovered in Lakeview, New York, in 1997. Two more unidentified victims were found near Gilgo Beach. Jane Doe No. 7, whose skeletal remains left investigators searching for answers, and John Doe number 6, the only male victim, whose identity remains unknown to this day. Both were found near Ocean Parkway, adding to the haunting puzzle of those lost along Long Island's shores. For over a decade, the case remained cold, casting a dark shadow over the lives of the victims' families. The victims were identified as sex workers, marginalized and often overlooked. Shannon's mother, Marie Gilbert, refused to let her daughter's story be forgotten. She tirelessly advocated for justice, drawing attention to the unsolved case while facing her own harrowing battles. In early 2022, a glimmer of hope emerged when authorities focused their attention on Rex Heuermann, a quiet architect from Massapequa Park. Investigators combing through records, cell phone data, and witness reports were zeroing in on him as a person of interest. Then, a key piece of evidence changed everything. Heuermann had thrown away a pizza crust. When investigators recovered it, they were able to extract DNA from the crust and match it to evidence left on the bodies found on Gilgo Beach. On July 13, 2023, Rex Heuermann was arrested, charged with the murders of Melissa Barthelemy, Megan Waterman, and Amber Costello. His capture sent shockwaves through Long Island, as details emerged of a man who had appeared ordinary, yet allegedly lived a life steeped in darkness. The court proceedings that followed sought to answer questions that had tormented the victims' families, with prosecutors painting Heuermann as a predator who exploited vulnerable women. In early 2024, a significant development came to light. Authorities revealed that Heuermann had been connected to more than just the 3 murders he was charged with. The investigation had expanded, suggesting he could be linked to other unsolved cases, further complicating the narrative. On September 29, 2024, Rex Heuermann was found guilty on all charges, his fate sealed by a jury that understood the magnitude of his actions. The verdict brought a bittersweet relief to the families who had fought so hard for justice, a testament to their resilience in the face of unimaginable loss. Having delved into the complexities of Rex Heuermann's case, we now turn our attention to Brian Donnelly. While Heuermann's story highlights the impact of modern technology in solving cold cases, Donnelly's case showcases the power of community and persistence in seeking justice. What happens when a seemingly normal teenager goes missing without a trace? In 2004, Autumn McClure, a bright and promising 16-year-old, vanished from her grandmother's home in Ormond Beach, Florida. For nearly 2 decades, her family held on to hope, unaware of the dark secrets that surrounded her disappearance. Was she a runaway, or was something far more sinister at play? The story began on May 10, 2004. Autumn's grandmother reported her missing after not seeing her for several days. Autumn, known for her vibrant personality, had recently been struggling with her home life. Reports quickly emerged that she had been staying with a woman she knew from work at a local grocery store, and that woman's boyfriend, Brian Donnelly. Initially, Donnelly and his girlfriend told detectives that Autumn had stayed with them for a short time and left on her own. They claimed to have no idea where she had gone. But as the investigation unfolded, chilling details began to emerge, painting a disturbing picture of what really happened to Autumn. Fast forward to 2021, a tip came in that would reignite the investigation. A man named Chris Miller claimed that an associate of his had confessed to killing Autumn and burying her in Volusia County. The associate? Brian Donnelly. But before authorities could make a move, Donnelly died during a medical procedure in May 2022, seemingly escaping justice. However, the investigation continued, driven by the whispers of those who had been close to him. After securing immunity, Jessica Freeman, Donnelly's girlfriend at the time of Autumn's disappearance, revealed a shocking truth. She came home one day to find Donnelly choking Autumn. By the time she intervened, Autumn was already lifeless. Freeman recounted how Donnelly threatened her life if she ever spoke about what he did. He spun tales of what he had done with Autumn's body, each story more horrifying than the last. But now, emboldened by Donnelly's death, Freeman felt a weight lifted from her shoulders. She was ready to tell the truth. Freeman disclosed the location where Autumn's body was buried, underneath a trailer at the 1300 block of Hand Avenue. This revelation prompted investigators to dig deeper, literally. In late 2023, after obtaining the necessary search warrants, investigators worked with the new homeowners to excavate the site. With the assistance of Dr. Lara Sutton and her team from the University of Florida's Maples Center for Forensic Medicine, ground-penetrating radar helped locate potential burial sites. After nearly 20 years of anguish, Autumn's family received the closure they desperately sought. In early March 2024, the remains found at the excavation site were positively identified as belonging to Autumn McClure, utilizing rapid DNA technology. Though Brian Donnelly will never face justice for his alleged crimes, this case serves as a stark reminder of the unresolved pain families endure when their loved ones go missing. In the end, Autumn's story is not just one of tragedy, but a testament to the relentless pursuit of justice, even in the darkest of times. If you're eager for more gripping true crime stories, dive into my recent videos: 5 family murders, 5 unsolved disappearances, and 5 unsolved murders. Each one unravels its own set of mysteries that are sure to keep you captivated. And if you found these cold cases fascinating, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a chilling update. Thank you for watching, and until next time, stay safe and stay curious.